Hello friends, today we are going to see series RLC circuit. Let us consider a circuit consisting of resistance R, pure inductance L and pure capacitance C connected in series with each other. Let a AC supply V equal to Vm sin omega t connected across this series combination. Let alternating current I flowing through R, L and C in this circuit. Due to this alternating current, there is a voltage drop across resistance. Let this voltage drop be VR. So value of VR, it is equal to I into value of resistance R. Let voltage drop across pure inductance be VL due to this alternating current. Therefore, value of VL, it is equal to I into inductive reactance XL. Let voltage drop across pure capacitance C due to this alternating current be Vc. Therefore, Vc it is equal to current I multiplied by capacitive reactance Xc. Now, VR voltage drop across resistance R, it is in phase with current. VL across inductance L always lead current by 90 degree because we consider inductance present in circuit is of pure inductance type, and as capacitance present in the circuit is pure capacitance, the voltage drop across that capacitance lag current I by 90 degree. So the total voltage across this combination of R, L and C is nothing but the phasor addition of VR, VL and Vc. Therefore, V bar equal to VR bar plus VL bar plus Vc bar. Now here value of I, value of VR, value of VL and value of Vc are the RMS values. Now let us see how to draw phasor diagram for this series RLC circuit. Now there are three cases. Case number 1 is XL greater than XC. This means that voltage drop across inductance is greater than voltage drop across capacitance. Second case is XL less than XC. This means VL is less than VC. And third one is XL equal to XC. Means voltage drop across inductance is equal to voltage drop across capacitance. So let us see how to draw phasor diagram for case number 1, that is XL greater than XC. Take current as a reference voltage. We know VR is in phase with that current. As inductance is pure inductance, voltage drop across inductance lead current by 90 degree. As capacitance is pure capacitance, voltage drop across capacitance Vc always lag current by 90 degree. Now, as VL is greater than Vc, VL minus Vc is on VL vector because it is now positive value. Therefore, we can easily find out total voltage V. Then how to find this total voltage V? Take a phasor addition of VR and VL minus Vc, that is resultant of VL and Vc. Let the angle between V and current I be phi. So from this we can easily draw voltage triangle. We can easily draw voltage triangle. So from this we can write V voltage, it is equal to under root VR square plus VL minus Vc bracket square. but VR is I into R, VL is I into XL, and VC is I into XC. Therefore, we can write V, it is equal to under root I into R square plus bracket I into XL minus I into XC, bracket complete, square. Therefore, V is equal to I into bracket R square plus XL minus XC, bracket square. Now, this is nothing but I into Z, where Z equal to under root R square plus XL minus XC, bracket square. And this Z is nothing but impedance of the circuit. Now let us see second condition, that is XL less than XC. Now in this case, once again, take current as a reference. We know voltage drop across resistance always in phase with current. VL always lead current by 90 degree. VC always lag current by 90 degree. Now here, as XL is less than XC, VL it is less than VC, and therefore the resultant of VL and VC it is on VC vector or VC phasor. Therefore, if we want to find voltage V, then we must take phasor addition of this resultant VC minus VL and VR. So due to this, we get a negative value of phi. Therefore, we can easily draw voltage triangle for this. Okay. Now, from this voltage triangle, we can easily write V, it is equal to under root VR square plus VC minus VL square. So once again, VR is nothing but I into R, VC is nothing but I into XC, VL is nothing but I into XL. So from this we can easily write V, it is equal to IR square plus I into XC minus I into XL, bracket square. So it is equal to V into I into V equal to I into bracket into under root R square plus XC minus XL, bracket square. It is equal to I into Z. Once again, impedance value Z, it is equal to under root R square plus XC minus XL, bracket square. Now let us see third case. Here XL is equal to XC. So once again, take I as a reference. We know VR, it is always in phase with I. And now here VL is equal to VC or VC is equal to VL. The resultant equal to 0. And therefore, total voltage V, it is equal to VR. And therefore, V equal to IR equal to I into Z. And therefore, impedance Z equal to the value of resistance R. Now in first case, where XL is greater than XC, that is VL is greater than VC, we get such voltage triangle. Here we get positive value of phi. And so, as resultant of VL and VC is positive, that is it is lead current I by 90 degree, we can say that the nature of the circuit in this case is inductive. In second case, where XL is less than XC, VL is less than VC, that is Vc is now greater. So resultant Vc minus Vl, it is lie on this Vc phasor, and therefore we get negative value of this phi. And due to this, we can say that now the resultant lag current I by 90 degree, and therefore circuit becomes capacitive in nature. Circuit becomes capacitive in nature. Now in third case, as XL is equal to XC, that is VL equal to VC, the total voltage V, which is lag on VR, so now circuit becomes resistive circuit. So these are three cases to draw phasor diagrams. Now let us see what is the impedance triangle. We know impedance equal to R plus jx, where x is XL minus XC. Now in first case, where XL is greater than XC, that is VL is greater than VC. Now in this case, XL is greater than XC, we get positive value of phi, and in case where XL is less than XC, we get negative value of phi. But in both cases, the R equal to Z cos phi, and X equal to Z sin phi. Now let us see what is average power consumed by the circuit. Now average power consumed by circuit is nothing but the average power consumed by resistance R, average power consumed by inductance L, and average power consumed by capacitance C. But as inductance and capacitance is pure inductance and capacitance is present in the circuit, there is no power consumed by inductance and no power consumed by capacitor. Therefore, the average power consumed by the circuit is nothing but power taken by resistance R. But power taken by resistance equal to I square R, which is equal to I into IR, which is nothing but I into VR. But from voltage triangle we can write VR equal to V cos phi, and therefore average power consumed by the circuit is equal to VI cos phi. Now let us draw power triangle for both cases, where XL is greater than XC and XL is less than XC. So how to draw this power triangle? Just multiply impedance triangles each side by I square. So here we get apparent power equal to I square into Z is equal to V into I. Here we get active power P, it is equal to I square R equal to VI cos phi. Here we get reactive power I square X. Now in this case, where XL is less than XC, once again apparent power equal to same I square Z equal to VI. Active power I square R is equal to VI cos phi, and here